Welcome to Book Date with You, episode 94. Today we are going to the second part of this book, Believe It by Jamie Kern Lima. So we'll let Joyce talk about this book again.
Yes. This is the second part two of talking about this book, Believe It. All right. And because this book separate into three parts, first part last week we talked about it. It is about belief. Second part is talking about risk. We were going to hit on the chapter talking about risk. Believe in being brave and being light. There's one time in 2017, Jamie, she was receiving one of the awards. It's called a Cosmetic Executive Women Achiever Awards. In her speech, she actually quoted one of the questions by Oprah is, what will you do with the power that is you? What will you do with the power that is you? It is a question that we have the gift of being able to ask ourselves each and every morning when we wake up and open our eyes. Will we use our energy and power to be liked or to be served? Oh, sorry, or to be liked or to be brave, to take risks or to play it safe, to challenge the status quo or to numb out the comforts of our surroundings. It's a choice of us to think about that. What will you do with the power that is you? By Oprah, this is the questions. So I also very curious too. I want to ask Gideon about that too. What will you do with the power that is you?
Um, I think if I've been asked this question, I would say that with the resources, with the things that around me right now, I would want to have the courage to be my own self, to be my authentic self. Meanings to not afraid not to do the things that I want to do or I like. Um, um, and sometimes to do that things that maybe your friends or your community don't really appreciate it. But there is something valuable and meaningful from my perspective. So I think the answer is to be my authentic self every
Hmm.
single day.
You put a very good emphasis at the back every single day. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, it's a meaningful and valuable time and definitely your effort. And I can see that whatever you do every single day, it's already start, you already show your authentic self. I don't know whether you notice or what, but this is something I really notice in you. You do the thing with your heart, with your soul. You are committed to that, and with I would say with full hearted to do that. That I think is something. It's very very rare that I can see a lot of people in this world. They are not putting up their full heart to do things. So I appreciate that you really committed to run this session. We are almost until 100 episodes already. So we're going to celebrate our 100 episodes. And then now we continue with another chapter. Jamie talked about belief haters are just confused supporters. There is one time way before she started her job and her work as an entrepreneur. She had participated in one of the live show. This live show is they have to be confined in one of the big houses with all the different participants, with all the cameras around them. And they are cut off from all the communication with the outside world. But they actually can see the helicopter bringing the banner with all the comments of the I would say the viewers from the TV. That is like a lot of haters comments to her, bad things saying about her. So this is something that she want to remind you all. Believe haters are just a confused supporters. Because she is telling us that, I quote, We can be getting all the positivity in the world, but yet our brain's default is to magnify it when one person says something negative. It is very common that our brain will love to save ourselves from all the bad things that happen. So it will go to the default. We were going to magnify it. But one thing, what we focus on, we magnify it. And we have to choose our focus very, very wisely. I quote from her. Every time that I got hate-filled email or read a negative post online, it might hurt my feeling or for a bit, but I got better and better and letting it roll right off me like water off a duck's back. You know, when the duck want to dust off the water at the back, it just dust off like this. Because sometimes I get some negative feedback or what, but the negative feedback, if it is a constructive one, I will take it, improve whatever I do. So, but if this is not a constructive one, just dust it off. I think this is something very important to remind us. So she mentioned about that. Figuring out how to get a handle on processing hate and criticism in a healthy way is an absolute necessity for ourselves, our families, and a younger generation who will be raised in this new reality. So, next chapter, she's talking about belief in knowing your values and living them. This one want to tie up with just now what Gideon mentioned about authentic self. When you take a stand, you risk a backlash. Remember just now I mentioned that she received an award, cosmetic that's called a Cosmetic Executive Women Achiever Awards. That time she took her stand giving her speech. That is not favorable by a lot of different people because she took her stand of trying to send a message out. What she actually want to do is changing the perspective of how women look at themselves in the beauty world. So she actually reads the backlash of that. So I quote from her, I showed up imperfectly, but at least I showed up and tried. When it comes to knowing and living your values, it is always the best decision for your soul to do the right and brave thing, even when it is a hard thing. I know sometimes it's hard. Like just now, what Gideon mentioned, if you want to live your authentic self, even though people around you, even though people so close to you, they might not support you or believe in you, but you got to believe in yourself. That is something I said, and Jamie also mentioned about that hard thing. But you actually got to have the courage and be brave to start that. So the last part of the book is about empower. Empower in this, she has a few chapters under that. It's called Don't Believe in Balance. It is a lie. So before we start, I just curious about what Gideon you think about balance. Do you believe in work-life balance?
I mean, I'm in the corporate world, working in the corporate world. So work-life balance is always, I think, overused word, and I think it used to be quite popular, trending in corporate world for a while, and people will say, you must have a work-life balance where you balance between your work and life. But I think nowadays, the they kind of overturn this already. Like and like you say, like there's no such thing as balance. So what I believe more is like there's no such thing as balance. But my belief may be a little bit different. My belief is like you in certain time of your life stage, you will focus more on something. Maybe in your career, that when you are going up in your career path, of course, naturally you will spend more time in your career. Maybe a little bit less on your family. But when you are settled down or you have a family to take care of, and you want to put less focus on your work, then you will spend more in time with your family. So I think it depends on the life stage. There's no such thing as work-life balance. Yeah.
Yeah, this is something I also believe there is no balance. So last time when I was young, that time I do mention about work-life balance, but after that I found that, oh, it's impossible, especially when you are juggling so many responsibilities as a leader at the workplace or as a leader at home. And the leader at home, I would say, juggles so many things. There will be a very, very so there is one time Jamie had this opportunity to meet up someone she admired very much called Meg Whitman. So she asked Meg about this. Meg, have you ever felt this way? Or do you ever worry about these things? I mean, this is a question at the end of it, of her all the long scenario that she actually laid out. But what she was trying to tell is, while you are a mom, but you are working leaders in your company and juggling so many things at the same time, sometimes we feel like we are tearing apart with so many things that we want to do, right? And at the same time, we worry about all these things. And the answer from the Web Whitman is so eye-opening. So that's why I also want to bring up to you all to listen about that. Something has to give. This is her answer. Something has to give, and something had to give. With everything in my life, I had to decide what had to give. I have kids and a career. I could not keep my house the way Martha Stewart do, and things have to give. And that was not something I worried about. This is so profound answer, I would say, even to me, because I found that I'm the girl. Back then, I always feel like I want to do it all. It's not just about doing it all. I also want to do the best. When you want to do it all and you want to do the best, I would just want to tell you here, it is impossible. So, because I quote from her book, because the things that we focus on come at the price of other things that we then can't give our time, energy, focus on. So she made that choice knowingly, and so many of us often unknowingly feel like we have to do it all and end up feeling like we are failing at everything. For me, I don't feel like I'm failing of everything, but when I want to do it all and do the best, I'm exhausted. Actually, I'm very, very deplete my energy, time, and focus on doing what is really important to me. I hope that this set as a reminder for every one of us that are listening to this channel. So next chapter talking about believe in giving what you need. If you want something or need something, give it, and you will surely get it. So this is a time that uh, Jamie mentioned that she has a chance to meet up Michelle Obama. We actually always talk about Michelle Obama book also.
Yeah.
The book last time we share is called Becoming, and Michelle Obama mentioned to Jamie when they met, you have such a light inside of you. This is such so encouraging words to Jamie. So what I want to share with you is when you give an honest compliment, you change the world in that moment. Like Michelle Obama, just say this simple sentence, look into the eyes of Jamie and tell her that. And I just want to tell you, we all can give someone some kind words, some encouraging words. That is really, really mean a lot to the person. So believe in giving what you need. If you need more encouragement, give encouragement. If you need more love, give love, right? So this is something I always believe about that. So another chapter is talking about believe in the power of letting your light shine. I quote from the book. The more we celebrate our own victories and her victory, the more examples are out there for other girls and women to see. We need to change this, and we need to start with you and me right now. meaning that when we celebrate our own success or our victories, and together with other women and celebrate together, and these women have their own victory, we actually come into a plus one, right? We actually set this as an example for the women to know that, yes, they have the power to do the same too. So the next chapter, because I try to concise it with a lot of different summary, this is my own uh, point that I grabbed from this book. So you will see that a lot of in the different point form for me. So next will be believe in miracles and in opera. I found that this title very cute. That she said not only believe in miracles and also believe in opera. So she mentioned this sentence: as you follow your inner sense of meaning, you are sailing in the same direction your mothership wants to sail. That is like your inner core. Your mothership is like your inner core. So when you are sailing at the same direction, it's like your inner core is the same with what you do. I tell you, you will feel the flow. If it is not, it's like you will have that internal conflict. I just want to tell you, I experienced a lot, especially in the past years, how my inner core does not align with what my action is. So sometimes you will see the misalignment break. I tell you, it is a torture. So, but anyway, she's trying to tell you and send this message out to you: believe in miracles. There is one time she has the choice to meet, she has the opportunity, golden opportunity to meet at Oprah. So this is what she want to tell Oprah. She mentioned about it after thinking so long. She said to Oprah, let me know if I can ever be of service to you in your life in any way. It is such a good sentence. You know, Gideon, I want to ask you, if you have a chance to meet up someone that you admire so long that you really want to meet up this person in real, face to face, one on one, what will you tell this person?
I will say thank you. I thank you to be like my beacon of my life, the lighthouse of my life. Yeah.
Great.
Oh, thank you to be here. Just to be here.
Yeah. Snap a photo, right? That is a precious moment that we want to really keep in our memory. Okay, next two chapter is talking about believe in power greater than yourself. When fear knocks, let faith answer the door. There's one sentence quote by Jamie in this book. God can dream bigger dream for us than we can for ourselves. Jamie, she is a Christian and she believes in God. And whatever belief you have, you believe in God or in grace or in universe or whatever, believe there is a greater power that can really guide you through. When fear knocks, let the faith answer the door. So the last chapter talk about believe you are enough. So I quote from her again: voice of self-doubt inside our heads that basically lies to us all day long and tells us we are not enough. We need to take control of their voice. You are worthy of your greatest hopes and wildest dreams and of all the unconditional love in the world. Believe it. To believe you are enough, it is always a work in progress. There's a sentence in the book, in the last chapter, is talking about I am work in progress. It is so important for us, okay, not for you only, for us as a collective one, knowing that every single day to remind yourself that you are enough in all the way. It doesn't mean that when you say you're enough, doesn't mean that you won't go to progress yourself. You don't go and study, learn, and progress yourself. But I mean that is when you know that you're enough, you have more confidence to carry out whatever you want to carry out into this world. Be your authentic self. If you don't have the confidence in you, you won't be able to carry out whatever you want to bring to the world, whether it's to work, to show up to your family as your dad or your mom. It's it's impossible. So that's why we all are work in progress. We are improving ourselves. We know that we are enough. We have the confidence in us to show up our best self in every single day. So that is the part two that we want to bring up to you in this book. And I highly, highly encourage you, every one of you, go to get this book. The way that I am trying to transfer the, whatever I learned from this book to you may not be what you can actually get from this book, right? So go and read yourself and let us know what is your aha moment. All the points that I shared, which one resonated with you the most? Thank you and see you in the next episode.